So here we Well, welcome to Creativity and the Paranormal, another episode here, and we are welcoming paranormal romance author Sydney Winward. Hello, Sydney.
Hi, Sarah.
I'm so happy that you're doing this. Thank you so much. And I'm going to begin with this kind of new tradition that started with the first recording, because the first author I interviewed, she loved coffee. So I said, oh, I'm going to have this mug is from the Walt Disney Wonderground collection. I got it for Christmas from my niece. And, you know, in Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, I have water in it right now because I've had enough coffee this morning. But that's the spooky mug I chose for today. So, you know, or sort of character mug. So, yeah. Do you have anything for on your side?
I do actually. So I have a kitty.
Oh, I love it. With the glasses and the is that a bow tie?
I think it's a collar.
Oh, okay, of course. Kitties
Yeah.
wear collars.
I saw it and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, I love it. That's so cute. As of 5 minutes ago, I had a tabby cat in my lap and she didn't want to leave. So I thought, well, I'll just try it. You know, I have two tabby cats, Katharine Hepburn and excuse me, it's Audrey Hepburn and Vivian Lee, but they're in the other room. But she jumped off in time, so that was good, because if they walk across the laptop, it would maybe turn us off. So we don't want to do that.
And they would too, because cats are cats.
Yes, and they're in their own world, you know. So anyway, let me just, I'm going to read your bio from your website, Sydney, just to give everyone an idea of what you do. So Sydney Winward is an award-winning fantasy and paranormal romance author who dabbles in the occasional historical fiction. She loves building complex worlds filled with magic, strong characters, and emotional stories that can make you laugh and cry. And I've read two of yours. That's true. I've read two of yours. And you're author of the Bloodborn series, which is published with Wild Rose Press, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yes, which I'm part of too. And the Sunlight and Shadows series. And when you're not, I'm just going to say you now, when you're not writing, you're reading, thinking about stories, or going on adventures with your children. You live in Utah with your husband and 3 amazing kids. That's wonderful. I will be asking you later on how you do it and balance motherhood at the same time. So, because I just have 2 cats.
Not easy.
Yeah, so I'm sure you're very busy. So you have a new book coming out March 7th. That's this Tuesday, because I'm going to put this up on Monday the 6th. So if people are seeing this on Monday, March 6th, you can pre-order now, or on Tuesday, March 7th, order the book. And it's called Selkie, an Enemies to Lovers Viking Romance, which I love. And I just want to say something about Selkie. I'm sure a lot of people know what they are, but I just got this off the wonderful internet. A Selkie is a marine legend that tells of people who are half fish, half human. In the water, they are seals, but on land, they shed their skin and take on human form. And for some reason, they are irresistible to ordinary humans who are apt to fall in love with the seal people. So yeah, that in itself is amazing. So I'm just going to mention the first part of your plot for Selkie, an Enemies to Lovers Viking Romance. No one has ever managed to capture a Selkie until now. On their wedding day, Klaus Lovik, his bride is stolen by an enemy chieftain. He will travel to the ends of the earth to find her, and in desperation, he captures a Selkie and uses her as a bartering piece. But the Selkie's magic is powerful enough to drown entire islands, and if he's not careful, he might find himself in a watery grave. Ooh, I love it. I just got chills. And I'm not kidding either, I just got chills. So I didn't say the whole plot again, because you're going to talk more about it, I'm sure. So I'm going to dive into my little questions here. Okay, what is it about? I know the questions by heart, but I still look at the paper. I don't know. My degree's in theater, so I'm an actor as well. So I just can't help if I see a script and I'm going like this, I look at a script. So anyway, what is it about the paranormal realm or magical realm, shall we say, that inspires you to write in that genre?
Well, I'd say that ever since I was, a young girl, I was always at the library reading about dragons and princesses, witches, just everything that like magic. So like magic. I just love magic and how different authors can like bring it to life in different ways. And so I think that's really originally what has drawn me into wanting to write in that genre, because it's like a really great escape, and you can form, you can form your own worlds, your own magic, however you want to. And that's just really special to me because I just
Yeah.
love it. It's just, I can make my own creatures. I can make, I could just do whatever I want with the magic, and it's just really exciting. And I just really like writing in that genre.
And it's wonderful because you started reading those stories, like you said early on, and you had a passion for it, so when you know your genre, you know your genre. Of course, you write historical as well. But this kind of leads into, I'm going to ask you about one movie, but I'm going to ask you the question first. So do you have a favorite paranormal, again, or fantasy, I'm going to say, movie or TV show now or growing up, when you were growing up?
I'd say now I love Merlin. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh.
It's on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix right now. And it's just like Merlin. It's all about Merlin and then King Arthur or Prince Arthur at the time. And I love Camelot and swords and magic and dragons, of course. So
was
that's
this
my
the
favorite.
show? I'm sorry, was this the show that was, it's not brand new, it was on years ago and then it came to Netflix, or is it a new Merlin show?
I think I have, okay, one second. Come
Yeah,
out real
yeah.
quick.
Because I watched Merlin years ago on TV. I think it was on like NBC or ABC or something.
I do have it. So I have all the CDs. Merlin.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I don't know that I've seen this one. This is great. It's on Netflix, you said?
Yeah, it just
Okay.
really caters to my sense of humor. So other
Yeah.
people might not like it, but I think it's
Oh, no.
hilarious. I
Oh,
love
I
it.
think I would love it. So what I was going to ask you about was, did you see or like the movie The Princess Bride?
Yes, I read the
Yeah.
book. I saw the movie. I love it. I love both.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I love that one because it goes into contemporary life, like he's telling the story, but we're still in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that the minute you were saying the kind of books you like, I would thought of The Princess Bride too. So now this is something I ask everybody, and if you haven't had this experience, maybe you know someone who has, but have you ever seen a ghost or experienced something strange?
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about this time when I went to a cabin with a group of friends.
Uh-oh, I'm already scared.
I know.
A cabin in the woods?
It was a cabin in the woods.
Oh my
It
God.
wasn't supposed to be like haunted or anything. It was just for fun, but we just got like this weird feeling like something's weird here. I don't know what it is. And like personally, I don't know, not everyone had the same experience, but I was walking up the stairs and I see a silhouette of a man standing at the top of the stairs, and it just freaked me out because it wasn't like a trick of the light. It wasn't a person.
Yeah.
So I was like, I run back down the stairs, like, oh, I was so scared. But
Was this inside the house?
was inside.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And one of my friends is actually more in tune with like the paranormal world and the ghosts and spirits. And he said that there was a man living in the house. He's like deceased man, and he didn't want us to talk about him.
Oh my gosh. This
I
is
know.
the same cabin, right?
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that could be a story in itself, like at least a short story,
Yeah.
or a Halloween story or something. So, oh my goodness, he didn't want anyone gossiping about it.
I know. I'm
Wow.
not
So
usually. Oh,
yeah, go
sorry. Go
ahead.
ahead. You go ahead.
That was the end of it? Was that the end of the experience, the phenomenon?
Yeah, that was it. I mean, nothing too exciting, but
Okay.
it definitely freaked us out for a bit.
But that's interesting that he showed himself to you.
Yeah, who knows?
You were just lucky. You were the lucky one.
Lucky you call it.
Yeah, yeah. I will share. I haven't said this yet on any of the interviews. I've just started doing this, but I got such a great response. I'm doing like 2 a month for the whole year, but I'm just having fun. So this is great. This is my writing office, by the way. I have all these inspirational things that I just love. You know, Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas, and I do have one of the original small posters of when you walk into Disneyland. Because I'm from California. I know people. I'm in New York right now. People on the East Coast go to Disney World, but I always went to Disneyland. So the poster for the Haunted Mansion when you first walk into Disneyland, and they have the posters for the different rides. I got that off the internet. So anyway, this is my little haven. But I did see, for me, it was actually kind of a sweet experience. Years ago, I got this little place in Brooklyn, and I had some furniture inherited to me after my mom passed away. And it was my grandmother's old wooden desk. It wasn't a roll top desk, but it kind of slid out, and it was like from the 1930s, you know. And I was unpacking this stuff, and I looked up in the doorway, and there was my grandmother, and she was wearing the house coat she would wear in her Pasadena home in California. Like when I would visit at 10 years old, that means it was 1971. And I wasn't even thinking about her, but I was unpacking her furniture at the time. So I looked up and I kind of went, oh, you scared me. And then she was gone, but she was going like this, like, oh, I'm so excited. And she was going like this. I mean, it was 2 seconds, but I see it in my brain just as clear as that night. And so I was scared for a second, but I'm like, wait, I'm not scared. That's my grandma, you know. But anyway, so that was my ghost sighting, which I'm shared for the first time here. You
Well, that's
inspired me.
it's kind of a neat experience.
Yeah, I should put it in a book, right? I should put it
Yes,
in one of
always
my
a book.
books. So, what is your advice to aspiring writers? You know, the ones that are working on a manuscript but they haven't been published yet. What advice would you give?
Honestly, I would just say like keep writing, keep practicing, hone your craft, learn all you can about your craft and your marketing, and work closely if you can with an editor. I know you can learn a lot about like grammar and how to place your sentences when you work with editor or critique partners, which is very helpful. And I guess another thing would probably be to like set a daily word count, because I know it can be really difficult to maintain like a steady writing schedule. And so if you like try to reach a daily word count, I think that could definitely help, especially with new writers.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, I have been lax on that lately. I've got to get back on it. So, excuse me, the regular format, double spaced, usually Times New Roman 12. 1 page is 250 words. Is that right? That's what I had looked up. So if you're doing 500 words a day, that's 2 pages, and 1,000 words, 4 pages. So yeah, I'm gonna set one for myself as well. But word count, that's good. I mean, even if you do half a page a day, if you're having a bad day or things are stressful or something, you can say to yourself, hey, I did half a page today, right? You know? Yeah, keep it going. So I wanted to ask you about, I noticed that Selkie, your new book coming out, and if you want to speak some more about it, please do. But I noticed it's in one of 7 books, and the banner, the title of all these groups of books, I'm saying it badly, but is the Mortar and Pestle. Now, I don't believe that's Wild Rose Press. That's a different publisher. And how did you get involved in that? Because I recognize some of the author names from Wild Rose Press.
Right. I actually have it right here. Selkie.
All right, look at that. It's so beautiful. Yeah, that's a beautiful cover.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, just like a group of authors kind of got together, and I'm not really sure exactly how it came about. It just, we proposed writing like a anthology or like a series we could do as a
Okay.
group. And we went through a lot of brainstorming, like what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make these connect? And like what's the idea? And we came up with a mortar and pestle, which
Yeah.
so the mortar and pestle is actually like an item that goes through each book. It gets passed along through like Vikings, and then it goes to Scottish
Okay.
historical, and then it goes to pirates, and then like sea adventures, and then contemporary. So there's like a lot of different time frames here.
Yeah, I
And
noticed that each book has a different subject. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and the mortar and pestle basically just helps them find true love. And so, each author does it in a different way. Since my book is first in the series,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's first in the series, so I had to create a way to, oh, it was upside down. Here you go.
That's okay.
Yeah, I had to create a way to introduce it. And so the mortar and pestle doesn't actually show up until like the very end of the book. And
Oh, great.
I
Okay.
won't spoil anything.
Yeah,
But yeah, so my characters actually create this, which gets passed down through the books.
that's wonderful. So you kick it off. Your book
Yes.
kicks it off. Are you all with a particular publisher, or you're like self-publishing as a group? Because yours says Tor Forg.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
sorry.
actually a self-published.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so we're doing it all on our own,
That's
and
great.
yeah, it's just like a new experience for a lot of people in the group, and it's just like supposed to be a fun learning experience and helping everyone get right back into writing and
Yeah,
confidence in writing.
that's great. I looked at the other covers too. The covers are gorgeous. And when you go on the Amazon page, not that I was like trolling all you guys, but when you go on the Amazon page, there's there's a photo that they've put up for Selkie and for the other ones. And I guess you have models or something. And those are gorgeous too. And it says something about, something tantalizing, or like a little teaser about the book as you're scrolling down to, check it out on your Amazon page. So great quality presentation is what I'm trying to say,
Thanks.
So anything else you wanted to tell us about Selkie besides what I said, or is that enough to kind of get us going?
That's probably enough to get you going. Mine's coming out on the 7th, so
March 7th.
make sure you buy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I hope you don't mind. It's up to you, but I would like to say, let's say there's an aspiring writer out there and she has a family too. I don't know if you have the day job as well, or if not, but I've noticed you have a lot of books out, and you have this family with 3 kids, wonderful husband and all that. And how do you balance it all?
It's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm actually a stay-at-home mom, and
Well, that's a big job though. That's a big job.
Yeah, so I take care of the kids full time. And I think one thing that has helped me be a mom and be a writer is I have to keep a strict schedule for myself and for my kids.
Yeah.
So like I wake up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I get hopefully like an hour or two in, maybe until the kids wake up. And then, when they're sleeping at night, I get another however much I can fit in.
Yeah.
But I think like mostly I have to just meet my word count every day. And that's, as long as I do that, it just doesn't really matter if I write more in the morning or more at night, but just have to get it in there.
That's great. I'm gonna have that inspire me too, that the word count, get a certain amount done each day. And before we go, I have to mention, it's either on your Instagram Reels or TikTok, I'm not sure which one. I've seen a few times where you've purchased or you've acquired an antique dress, like an antique wedding dress or a medieval dress or something, and then you dye it and you show the process, but you speed up the film. It's so cool. It's so cool. And then you dye it like this beautiful purple, or one was blue or something like that. And then you're wearing it, and it's just amazing. I love how you do that. Have you just started doing that, or is that something that you've done for a while?
Well, actually, so maybe like 10 years ago, I bought this wedding dress because it was just gorgeous. And I'm like, I just have to have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was at the thrift store, so it wasn't that expensive. And for some reason, it was just sat in my closet for a long time. And just because I just had to have it, and it's just gorgeous. And I'm like, you know what? I could probably make this into a princess dress rather than just hang in my closet as a wedding dress that's never going to be worn.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I got some dye, learned how to dye dresses, and I have now I just have like a bunch of like really pretty princess dresses that are actually wedding dresses.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because not only Halloween, but like there's special events or something, that you
Mhm.
have this wonderful ensemble now of dresses. That so anyway, I really enjoy those videos that you put together, and that inspires me too. Maybe one day I can do something on my own. Right now, I was given this as a Christmas gift because I mentioned that I was going to start to do some more interviews. So at Christmas, my my nephew and his wife gave me this little fairy light tree in the back there, and my sister gave me this cape. So I'll have to switch it up at some point and use some different things. But again, so people like you, when I see you creating these beautiful dresses and things that you do, it's very inspiring. So,
Thanks. I
yeah.
have fun. It's like and I love to sew, and so like working with any kind of fabric is just like really it's just really fun for me, and kind of escape in a way, kind of like how writing is.
Exactly. And I love writing too, but I have to do a lot of it on the weekends and commuting on the train to New York. But we have to have another outlet as well. So for me, this is kind of part of that for me as well. And I'm also focusing on authors having books coming out or not, or just talking about writing. So this is fun for me too. But yeah, it's like you have to kind of do something else to break it up sometimes, because we can't live by the book alone, right? Although it's wonderful. So great. Okay, so again, Tuesday, March 7th, the book comes out. It's on Amazon and I'm sure several other places. I will put your link to your website at the bottom, and I'll put your Amazon page in there too. So
Thank you.
yeah, everyone go order the book, Selkie, and Enemies to Lovers Viking Romance. And then of course there's the Bloodborn series and your other series. And you're such a great storyteller. I read Your Sterling and the Root Brew Float.
Oh, root brew float. Yeah.
Yeah. About that was a novella, right? The
Mhm.
witch that came to Salem and they found some romance. And then Your Sterling was a more historical, romance. And I just love them. So I just have to tell you,
Thank you.
yeah, you're a very talented writer. And thank you for coming on Creativity and the Paranormal.
Well, it's really great to be here. It's fun. Thank you for inviting
Yeah.
me.
Okay, and wonderful continued success to you. All right, and bye everybody. Thanks for coming.